Facebook, please give me a few seconds while I roll. And hello, this is from Milwaukee to Nashville. I'm Dana Goodwin, host. This is Christopher Drapes. Our other two co-hosts are currently either busy, sleeping, or working.
What do you mean co-hosts?
Robert, Andy. So, we are actually going to do projected lines.
On this show, we're going to be breaking down projected lines for the Admirals and Predators with the new additions that they made in the draft free agency. We're also going to discuss any other miscellaneous news.
I should have got a drink before I came up here.
Disclaimer, we do not get paid by the Admirals. If we did, we would have better clothes, we would be wearing ties, you would have representatives of the Admirals on our show. None of you have ever seen that happen on this show because we do not work for the Admirals. So please stop thinking we do. We are trying to earn press credentials.
We are
not
independent
trying
media.
to get a job.
We are
independent. I just want to explain that to you because, we encounter this all the time. People assume.
I've gotten 3 messages about it in a couple weeks.
Yes, people assume we have insider information. They assume we work for the team. We do not.
We get the same insider information that you
stop talking over me. I'm trying to make a point. This is going to benefit you so you don't got people blowing up in inbox. Okay? Listen, like I said, if we were getting paid, there'd be better production quality. We'd dress better. We'd have better guests, but we don't have them. We are independent media. All right? Everything on here is our opinion, our speculation. I'm sorry if you got used to people lying to you, but we're not lying to you. I know that's a foreign concept in America nowadays. Media not lying. But get used to it with this show. We are not lying to you. I appreciate you guys that like us, but we do not work for the Admirals. Please get over it. We are being honest with you. I'm sorry if you got used to believing a bunch of lies from the media, but we're not lying to you. So you should actually like us because we're being honest with you. We're not insulting your intelligence. We're being honest with you. All right, now you can do the show.
Now, as I was going to say, part of what you were saying, because at the end of the day, our slogan from the start and will always be "This is show from fans for fans,"
or for fans by fans.
Yep, either or.
But that was the original title that he came up with. He just kind of fumbled his own title, which I find funny.
Or I edited it and didn't tell you, which I'm good at.
Yeah, you're good at not telling the squad. All right, let's break down free agency or the Predators, and let's break down everything for the Admirals.
All right, so currently the Predators have $5.191 million
left
in cap space. In next year's draft, they have a first round, 2 second rounds, a third round pick, no fourth round pick, which they'll probably parlay one of those third round picks into a fourth round pick.
Yeah,
they do that. They have a 5th round pick, a 6th round pick, and next 2 years they don't have a 7th.
All right, so let's not worry about that. Let's talk about this year. Try to get people primed and ready to go for this upcoming season, which should be fun in Nashville. Because in case you haven't heard, Matt Duchene is a Predator now.
He's coming with his boots on.
Yep, and hopefully we'll be able to get a cup.
So he's 28 years old, shoots left-handed. He was the 3rd overall pick by Colorado in 2009, 5'11", 195. He's from Haliburton, Ontario, Canada. His contract's for $8 million a year. In the let's see, stats. There we go. Last year with Ottawa, he was with Ottawa last year. Yeah, he was traded to Ottawa from Colorado in 2017. In 2018, he was traded from Ottawa to Columbus.
All right, well,
Okay,
last year.
So Ottawa last year he played 50 games, had 27 goals and 31 assists with a -2. To believe it or not, Ottawa had the worst record in the NHL.
Yeah, and he was still managed to be able to be the best player on a bad team.
And 50, he was averaging a 1 point, like I think it was like 1.15,
almost 2 goals a game or 2 points,
almost 1.1 something. So almost a little over a point per game. And then in Columbus, he did not replicate that ability. I honestly think he just didn't have. Yeah, he had the talent around him, but they didn't have any time to get it together. That's what showed up in the playoffs was the time that they had to get it together. So in the regular season, he played 23 games, had 4 goals, 8 assists, had 12 points and a -1 with 2 penalty minutes. By the way, with the Ottawa Senators, he only had 6 penalty minutes, so you're not going to see a lot of him in the penalty box.
Which is a good thing because the Admirals currently have players that love going to the penalty box for fun.
Last time he spent over 20 minutes in the penalty box was in 2016 or 2015, 2016. He spent 24, but before that was in juniors. Outside of that, he doesn't spend a lot of time in the penalty box. Now in the playoffs, he had 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 games. So he had 10 points in 10 games in the playoffs. That's really good. So hopefully he can do that for Nashville. Now, when we sit here and talk about lines, we know the Jofa line up top. The Forsberg, Johansson, Arvidsson line.
Yeah, Duchesne's projected to be in the second line.
I would love to see.
Can you bring up the line pairing so that way we could go into more detail about it? I'm surprised we haven't already had that. Because it would be easier to see it on paper, so that way we can break her down thoroughly, and we also have to try to project in our heads where the drafted players are going to end up. So with Duchesne, what I was seeing, he's projected to be a second liner.
Let's see how long. Oh, recently this is updated because last updated July 1st. Okay. Is still the Jofa line up top. Forsberg, Johansson, and Arvidsson.
The second line is projected to be Matt Duchesne, Kyle Turris, and Mikael Granlund, which I do like that. I think the Predators currently have 2 solid lines now. The third line is projected to be Kelly Yarncroc, Nick Bonino, and
Craig
Smith. And then the fourth line, our buddy, Rocco Grimaldi, Colton Sissons, and Austin Watson. I say that's a good depth right there as far as the lines.
And if you think about it, those top 3 lines, they could all produce points.
Now, with our draft picks that we picked up, we'll break down their individual stuff, but where do you think our draft picks could possibly fit in the line pairings as we currently see it?
Currently, as we sit, none of them have signed. So, no way.
Can't really project them into any line currently, even though they were at the Predator development camp this past week.
Correct. So development camp means nothing.
Yeah, because Eli Tolvanen had a good development camp.
Yeah,
I'm paying attention to it.
My favorite guy out of the development camp was Igor Afanasenev. He literally just made some guys look like
kids.
Yeah, like little 4-year-olds skating.
Yeah, I think Eli Tolvanen might be breaking out of his shell because he had an impressive camp as well.
All right, so defensive pairings.
This is a topic not too many people discuss. They're always worried about the forward lines, but the defensive pairings are just as important.
All right, so your top defensive pairings probably going to stay the same with Roman Josi and Ryan Ellis. And then you got Matthias Ekholm and Dante Fabro.
I don't see that changing because Fabro is like highly touted. And, yeah.
Give him some time in the middle of the pack. See what he can do. If he does better.
If he plays better, bump him up to the front line.
But that's the question. Do you bump Ellis out? Do you bump Josi out? You don't want to bump Josi out because he's your captain. So
fine. If Ellis starts playing bad and Fabro starts,
let's see if he has a bounce back year.
We could probably bump Fabro up to Ellis' spot.
The third defensive line,
Dan Handhughes and Steven
Statini.
My bad.
All right. So Statini, he still has a lot to prove. I don't think he's an NHLer.
So he might be an Admiral, essentially? Or maybe even
he reminds me a lot of Yannick Weber and Matt Irwin, where they're like middle. They could be up, they could be down.
So really. They might be bouncing around between Milwaukee and Nashville, which is what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, they could be from Milwaukee to Nashville.
Hey, get them on the show. That would be cool.
All right, so the first power play.
Wait, how does that go? If a player chooses to be on our show, would that get us into trouble or them?
I don't know. Probably them. Probably.
But hey, if it's their choice to come on our show, I would love to interview a player if they choose to.
Yeah. All right. So the first power play unit would be Victor Arvidsson, Ryan Johansson, and Philip Forsberg. On the defensive pairing would be Mikael Granlund and Roman Josi. I like that.
Yeah, and it does look like we have to improve our power play. You know how horrible power play is. It was garbage. And then the second power play unit.
This may change. But you could probably throw Duchesne where Bonino is.
All right, so Duchesne would probably fit into the second power play unit, which currently stands as Kyle Turris, Nick Bonino, and Craig Smith, your forward line, with Ryan Ellis and Dante Fabro, your defensive pair. And goalies, obviously, Pekka and Saros, no change there. Even though we did draft a goalie, they'll probably end up in Milwaukee. That's my prediction for the goalie. And we did just sign that one goalie also, so...
He'll be here. He needs some more tuning.
We have goalies that are in Milwaukee ready to be called up to Nashville at any point.
All right.
See, this is the way this is why I said yesterday's show is kind of garbage, because now we're actually breaking down potentially where they'll fit the lines and stuff like that. We're going more in depth, because ain't that what people want out of us? More in depth, more insight.
By the way, as far as what he's talking about with yesterday's show, technically it is now past midnight Central Time.
2 days ago.
So 2 days.
What did you say Monday show?
So Monday's show was just a who signed where. Yeah. This is a breakdown of what they can do, and what they bring to the team.
If you enjoy what you see on these videos, you should please subscribe to our channel. Hit the little bell next to it if you're watching our YouTube. If you're on Facebook, like us, follow us, watch our videos. People on Facebook, since you probably used YouTube to watch other videos, go over to YouTube after the video, subscribe to our page. That way you can watch us on whatever platform you feel like. We're trying to build our YouTube brand as well.
All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about what Steven Santini brings to the table.
Yeah.
So he's 24 years old.
So he's young.
He's 6'2", 205 pounds. He was drafted in the second round by the New Jersey Devils in 2013. Okay. Drafted 42nd overall.
Who did he play last year with?
The Devils.
Or are you getting her?
He played for the Devils.
Okay. It's funny. He leaves the Devils and PK goes to the Devils. I'm not taking a shot. I'm kind of bummed out PK's gone.
All right. So last year he played 39 games, so he was a bench rider most of the time. It's not good for his career, his development, which is why I understand that the Preds wanted him. They saw upside somewhere. So
you'd be surprised how much upside teams have currently sitting on their bench, but they have a log jam, so they're kind of stuck.
All right, so in New Jersey, he had 39 games played, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points, -6, 16 penalty minutes. He played 3 games with the Binghamton Devils. He will be playing for Nashville. He went to Boston College, which means that he was there from the looks of it, he was there for Fabro's rookie year or freshman year of college. So he's probably got some familiarity with Fabro. I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen. That year he had 41 games played, 1 goal, 18 assists, so 19 points, and a +24 with 50 penalty minutes. Now, this makes me a little happy to see, and this is what Daniel Carr brings.
Yeah, for all you Chicago Wolves fans. Ha, 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 we got Carr.
All right, and to all you...
I don't hate the guy. I always thought he was a good player, but I hate the Wolves because they're a bitter rival.
Yes. So he's been kind of bounced around a little bit, and Montreal didn't treat him too well.
Nope.
So they kind of did want to they treated him like they treated Nashville treated Freddie Gaudreau for a little bit. With
pretty much. And then last year he was with in the Vegas system with the Wolves and bouncing around between Chicago and Vegas, which
So
is
in
not
Vegas-
that bad of a commute. I wish I could do that routinely, go from Chicago to Vegas and vice versa.
So with Vegas, he played 6 games, had 1 goal and a -1. But with Chicago,
He won the AHL MVP last season.
He
So yeah,
had-
we picked up the defending American Hockey League MVP.
he has 52 games played, 30 goals, 41 assists for 71 points in 52 games.
I'm kind of curious where he'd fit into the Admirals depth chart.
I'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious because that's going to improve us if he does end up with us, and he'd be a good option in Nashville.
All right, so he had 35 penalty minutes. And what stat is that? Oh, he had a plus 35
That's a good thing.
and a 10 penalty minutes. And then in the playoffs, he had 15 games played, 12 points, 3 plus 3, no penalty minutes. So, I mean, if you look at it, he's been kind of like the float guy for a while. But his rookie year in the AHL, he played 76 games, 24 goals, 15 assists, 39 points, plus 8 and 21 penalty minutes. So the guy can play. It's just if you're not putting a team around him, he can't. And hockey is the most team sport there is.
Yeah.
Each
Look
guy,
at Connor McDavid, one of the best players in the league, but he's going nowhere because it's such a team sport. His bad team is holding him back. Kind of like what happened with Ovechkin and the Capitals before they finally got the cup a few years ago.
all right. So the other part
Dude,
of
that's
that.
sad to say. It's 2 years ago.
All right.
For them winning the cup, the Capitals.
All right. So
Jeremy Davies.
number 76.
Okay, how's that matter?
PK
Anyways,
Subban's number.
he's a defenseman. We drafted him, correctly.
Nope. New Jersey did. 7th round.
I say he was one of our free agent guys.
Nope. That he came over in the PK Subban trade. So.
Wow, I've been wrong like 10 times right there. Bad job by me. I'll hang my head in shame.
All right, so he's 22 years old. This is the first year of his entry-level deal. He is exempt from waivers. He is currently, his cap hit is 925,000. That's also his bonus. That's just his NHL deal. I don't know what his AHL contract breaks down to. All right, so last year he played for. Oh wait, let me make sure I got this right. All right, so last year he played for Northeastern University. I had to make sure I didn't say Northwestern, so I had to make sure I didn't screw it all up.
I want to be the first one.
He played 37 games, had 8 goals, 28 assists for 36 points, a plus 8 and 41 penalty minutes. He also played for Team Canada in the Spengler Cup the year before. He had 1 assist and a -1, but he only played 4 games. That's fine. But he's done really well at Northeastern.
Hey, question. What's the Spengler Cup?
It is
I've never heard that ever.
the Spengler Cup is basically for the hockey players without pro contracts. So basically, like AHL guys, if you're not going to go play in the Olympics, the Spengler Cup happens every Olympic year. If you're not going to play in
So
the
it's kind of like a pickup tournament for guys not under contract or any other obligation.
so so most of the time, like if you see Team Canada or something, it's actually Team Canada.
Where's Petey Williams and Bobby Roode? Hey, you're the one that said Team Canada. You know I'm a pro wrestling fan. You set yourself up for that. I'm sorry.
So he's from Quebec. He's 5'11".
He's a Nordique.
He's 108 pounds, and he's a left-handed shot. I actually have no footage on him. I actually looked him up on YouTube today,
And there's nothing.
and there's nothing. So
Not
I
even
have
a highlight reel.
no highlight reel, no scouting footage, nothing. So I have nothing on him.
Yeah, we wish we could give you more content, but hey, we're limited. Even journalists like us are limited. Yes, we're journalists.
Now, we've seen a little bit of footage on him.
Yeah, Connor Ingram.
All right, so he's a 22-year-old catch left-handed goalie.
Ooh, a lefty. Okay.
He is from Imperial, Saskatchewan, Canada. I suddenly had the Star Wars theme going in my head for a second. The Imperial Order.
I was about to say Saskatoon, but I think that's a different area.
Okay, so he was drafted in the 3rd round, 88th overall by the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Nashville Predators get the 2021 7th-round pick for him. He is a 6-foot goalie that weighs 212. That stuff really doesn't matter when you're goalie.
Because you're going to be crouched low anyways.
So he is in the last year of his entry-level deal, but I believe he has an option for an extra year that Tampa Bay gave him, and the Nashville Predators did pick that up.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Now, in 2012, he played for the Humboldt Bronco Midgets.
Whoa. They prefer little people.
It's the Midget League.
They prefer little people.
I know, but it's technically...
Hey. Keep it PC. It's 2019. They prefer little people.
I call it what this page calls it. It says midget.
Send out hate mail to Cat Friendly.
Yeah.
What?
So in Canada, when you play hockey and you play like peewees, you have the bantam, and then you have the midgets, and then you go to juniors. That's
Maybe
how
you
that
should
works.
have just called it the Pee Wee League instead of flat out calling it midget. Because, we are in America, and you don't want to cause a crack storm with politically correct police. Just saying, I'm trying to... Hey, so that way you don't blow off your own leg when you step on a landmine. I'm trying to help you.
All right, so he played 13 games in the ECHL with the Orlando Solar Bears. He had a 2.81 goals against and a .914 save percentage. I'm not too worried about those stats down there based on two things. One, it's the ECHL, so defense is not hurting.
Nope. Have you seen some of the scores of ECHL games, people? They're high-scoring affairs.
And they love to fight.
Yeah, they're the equivalent of, say, NCAA basketball. No defense being played.
Yeah. I'm not now. As much as I say that, it's still a team game down there, and some of these guys are still trying to make an AHL or NHL roster.
Yeah.
Guys that are 19, 20 years old.
Even guys that are old and just want to keep playing.
Yeah. So he also played for the Syracuse Crunch. He played 22 games, which this is where
Syracuse's affiliate?
Tampa Bay. Okay. This is another reason why I'm not so worried about that GAA. The less games you play, the higher your GAA and the lower your save percentage is, because it's the less time you have on the ice.
Yeah.
So with 20
smaller sample size, your numbers get inflated.
Yes. So it's like baseball. So it's like look at goalie stats like baseball, like with a pitcher's ERA. Just look at it that way. So say in day one, you pitch one inning and you give up a home run, your number's going to be 10.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's not exactly 10. But that's what happens.
Yeah. All right. Anyways.
So in 22 games, he had a 2.25 goals against and a .922 save percentage, which is identical to one Troy Grosnick outside of the games played. We all know
how good Troy Grosnick is.
So he has a lot of. He was labeled the guy that was supposed to come behind Vasilevsky and be the next thing, and
he turned out not to be the next thing.
I think
turned
Tampa
out to be the next thing to get showed the door. But
I think sometimes Tampa Bay has too much goalie depth, and they didn't know what was going to happen with free agency, so they just kind of shipped him off. And now they were looking back, and they're like, uh-oh. Because they had to correct their problem in free agency, which I will get to in a minute. Nicholas Westerholm. We've talked about him all year. He's one, catches left. Most goalies do.
You and Robert love this guy.
I have a high opinion of him.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I just pointed out the fact that you and Robert seem to love this guy. mainly you, because you're the one that brought him to Robert and I's attention.
He's from Helsinki, Finland. He's 6'4", under 200 pounds. He's 198. So he's got a lot of athleticism to the size frame.
Yeah.
So that's why I think highly of him. He's undrafted, which Nashville does really good in that area. Let's see. 2019. All right, so in 2019, he played 15 games for Saipai in the Liga. He had a 2.27 goals against and a .907 save percentage. He didn't play any playoff games. But let's see. In 2019-2020, he is projected to either play for the Admirals or Saipai. He has a contract with both. We'll see what happens.
A lot of players in that situation, they tend to choose to go overseas.
Well, and here's the thing.
It seems to be greener overseas for hockey than it is here in America.
I was actually going to say, I think he goes over there for one more year. Actually to get some starting time. And then
I don't know. If he comes over to America, you could probably get starting time in Milwaukee.
Well,
if he's looking for starting time, I think he stays
however, I was also going to say this. You could also see him maybe play for Florida. Battle Ingram and Troy here in camp, and then see what happens and go from there. He could do that.
Well, we need a goalie competition because we've been saying it all offseason. The Predators need to restock their goalie system because Pekka ain't getting younger, and neither is Saros. And you don't want to waste Saros.
Saros is only like 20.
Because aren't the Predators essentially using a 2-goalie rotation right now when most teams rely solely on one goalie until that guy gets hurt?
Yeah, pretty much. So the Predators are probably the ones
they're ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Using a 2-goalie setup instead of just relying solely on one.
I don't need that anymore.
Because that seems to be why a lot of goalies on other teams go down because, well, they play every single game. Eventually, they're going to break down quick. So that's why I emphasize depth. Got to have depth in every position. Position, not possession.
So I could make up an Admirals line here. It'd be a little different, but I could protect. Well, let's see.
Do they have like the projected lines?
We could do what our thoughts would be because we have enough players in this to do that.
So there's no way we can actually see what the lines were from last year and insert player?
No.
Kind of like we can for the NHL?
Yeah. So we actually have to come up with our own.
All right, well, let's give that a shot. Seeing how we have the new players we could throw in there. Hell, we might even come up with some guys
Hello, Robert.
Put on the trade block. Hey, Robert.
So I checked our comments so that we had.
Yeah, make sure we don't got to rip into trolls because I love ripping into trolls. It's fun.
All right.
Because they're jealous.
So, top line in the AHL, my opinion, would be Anthony Richard, Daniel Carr, and Ilya Tolvanen.
Oh, damn, that's overkill. That's a good line. That's
overkill. What about you? Do you agree with that line?
Trying to see if I can create one that could be just as dominant. I'll go Rem Pitlick, Tanner Janot, and Olivier.
Okay, so that's more like a bruiser kind of line.
Yeah, because you need a good bruiser line to back up your fancy line.
So basically that would be a line under mine.
Yeah, I came up with say line 2.
That'd be technically
line 1. And what would our third and fourth lines be then?
Technically, I wouldn't be surprised to see that be a third line.
Well, what would our
second line would potentially be Colin Blackwell.
Okay.
Yakov Trenin and Lucas Craig.
Then what line would you? Then what? Anthony Richard would be relegated to the fourth line.
So actually, our fourth line would be Zach Magwood, Laurent Dauphin, and
Anthony Richard.
No, I had Richard on the top line.
Oh, never mind.
And Josh Wilkins.
Yeah, I only said Pitlick because he has a lot of upside, and I'm curious to see what this guy could do in the AHL. What about our defensive pairings? Like,
So our defensive pairings, I have our top line would probably be Jared Tenardi and Alexander Carrion.
is Allard still with us?
Yes, which would fall into my next pairing.
I would say Allard, Matt Donovan.
And then the last one be Brendan Fortuno and Jeremy Davies.
Yeah, why not?
And then our
And
goalies,
then obviously, if it don't work,
switch them up.
yeah.
So our goalies most likely are going to be Troy and Connor Ingram.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Unless something happens in Westerholm,
If he lights it up, I wouldn't be surprised. But
I ain't gonna argue. As long as we keep Troy, because I think Troy, if he gets good defensive help this year, he should be productive. Because we all know that the Admirals didn't really lack the defensive help that Grosnick would need.
Yep.
Everybody that watched the Admirals last year would agree with that. We left Troy we left him hanging a lot, and it was not good. I felt bad for Grosnick a lot of the games. I really did.
All right.
Oh yeah. Seeing how we're
getting close to the wrap-up point.
Yeah. Click subscribe if you're watching.
Oh
on
wait,
YouTube.
we have breaking news. That whole Cole Schneider. Right, I forgot about that.
Anyways, like us on Facebook, watch our videos, subscribe to us on YouTube. Everybody, I'm telling you, if you're on Facebook, there's a good chance you go on YouTube to watch videos. Just click subscribe. You don't even have to really. Well, click subscribe and watch. Bounce around between the two platforms. We're not asking for money. We're just asking for your subscribers, guys. We're giving this content to you for free. Just click subscribe. That's all we ask.
All right,
and watch your videos, because we're trying to get better for you.
So the Admirals signed Cole Schneider to an AHL 1-year deal.
Now, where would he fit into our lines that we currently just made? We should have took him into. We should have used him as a factor. Like where?
We also forgot about Pendenza and Vince Pedri, and there are some guys in there that.
Let's break it down.
That's what I'm saying. I know. I'm going to get into that in a second, but let me talk about what he did last year. Last year, he played 36 games with the Hartford Wolfpack. He had 13 goals, 12 assists, 25 points, 33 penalty minutes, and a -2. With the Admirals, he played 24 games, 10 goals, 12 assists, 22 points, and 0 penalty minutes with a +2.
Yeah, we did get him to help us with our playoff push last season.
Also in the playoffs, he played 5 games, 2 assists, no goals. No penalty minutes, even +-. He will be with the Admirals next year. Speaking of the Admirals, let's go to their elite prospect page. Rotate. There we go. All right. So, let's talk about this. So, we got Troy Grosnick, Connor Ingram, and Nicholas Westerholm. We already know where that goes. We just talked about that. Okay, so add in Scott Savage and Adam Smith into our defensive pairings. Yeah. I believe Adam Smith goes to the ECHL for seasoning, and Scott Savage is the in or out guy.
I'm going to assume in because I'm all for.
I saw him, that big hit he put on that guy, but for what happened,
if anything, he could be a third, possibly a fourth line combination guy.
For defensive, if you need a guy like Donovan or Tenardi, who are not exactly getting any younger, they have a night off, that'd be perfect.
Yeah. Come off the bench, give them some rest, so that way they're not playing a full 50+ minutes or whatever they usually get.
What? The Admirals signed Alexander Giroux.
How would he fit into our stats?
Alexander Giroux. Now, for most of you that know, he was a Chicago Wolf at one point and lit us up.
Well,
I believe he was a Hershey Bear. He killed us in the playoffs.
Yeah, that was before our team season.
Anyway, last year oh God, I don't remember where this league is. There's so many hockey leagues.
Yeah, but you're supposed to know these things, Mr. Hockey Guy.
LNAH. So I believe this is a league. I think that's the retirement league.
Maybe. You don't know. Don't quote us.
Don't quote us. I don't know. But apparently he signed with the Admirals. They have him on the roster. So
I highly doubt it's the retirement league. Because why would the Admirals?
Anyway, he played 27 games, had 36 points, 21 goals, 15 assists. He had 18 penalty minutes and a +6. Everywhere he has gone, he's pretty much played in the playoffs. If you actually look at this, it's literally everywhere he's gone, he's played in the playoffs.
Experience is beneficial.
He is 38 years old. I think that's a good pickup. I actually like that.
For a year or two, yeah, why
not? Thomas Novak, he was a Nashville draft pick. They didn't sign him, but the Admirals did. Yeah, we're going to give him a shot. Hugo Wass, same thing. Didn't get drafted, but Milwaukee.
Where do you think they'll play most of their time here?
I think that some of these guys will play in the ECHL. Hunter Garland, he signed with the Admirals. I have nothing on him.
Yeah, literally nothing on him. So probably ECHL, but we'll soon find out. We will soon find out.
I'm heading there right now to see what I can get on him. So he is a 5'9" right-handed shot defenseman. Oh God, we need one of these. But he is tiny. And by tiny, I mean he weighs less than, I don't know.
How much he weigh?
172. He is tiny.
Less than me, not by much.
All right, so last year he played for St. Mary University in Canada in the Youth Sports League. He had 30 games played, 45 points, 12 goals, 33 assists. What? They don't have plus minus in that league? Okay. I'm not going to go through every game and figure out what his plus minus was. But he is set to play for the Admirals next year. So looking at it, I will actually put this link up on our page so you can come and look and see what the Admirals roster has from Elite Prospect. That's probably my most notable source outside of Cap Friendly.
Yeah.
By the way, give Cap Friendly a Twitter follow. Sometimes they will have AHL news before the team breaks it.
Which is beneficial to us.
Whoops. It'd be helpful if I posted it on the actual page.
Yeah, right.
Technical issues. I actually think
wrong
it's more
wrong show, man. Wrong show. This is from Milton Nash. Oh, yeah, like us on Twitter.
Yes.
I forgot about that. I've been back doing the Twitter thing.
Yep. He's actually got to get on Twitter later and tweet about Cole Schneider. So
I think I already did that. If you haven't been paying attention to our Twitter page today before I came up here. See, I'm trying to be helpful.
I've been busy.
With what?
I don't know.
You don't even know what you're busy with. Wow. Good man. I've been filling out job applications and paying attention to Twitter, trying to help out this show.
All right. So outside of that, like I said, when we get into this, like guys like Thomas Novak, we didn't talk about much last season.
He didn't play for us that long. We literally got him about the time we started that push for the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that wasn't
Adam Smith, same thing. Scott Savage, same thing. Like with the leg injury he got in San Antonio, we were literally scared for him. It's not often that I sit there and go, because I've seen a lot of cringeworthy stuff. So
this wonderful game,
all right. So last year he played for the University of Minnesota. Thomas Novak, other known as Tom Novak or Tommy Novak. It does say that he goes by all of them. So
as long as you ain't making fun of him, I'm assuming he don't care what we call him. As long as you call him one of the times.
So he played 38 games, 4 goals, 17 assists, 21 points, 4 penalty minutes, and a -14. Now I'm going to take that with a grain of salt because Minnesota finished dead last in the NCAA. Ouch. For him, he played 3 games with the Admirals, had an assist and a -1, so that wasn't that bad. He had a goal. He helped on a goal, and he got 2 scored against him. He did play 1 playoff game. I think that was the last one. Wait, they have a thing called the Gretzky Cup?
Look, hey, you're learning new stuff. I bet you that thing's been around for like 100 years, even before Gretzky played.
All right, so we got Adam Smith here. He's a defenseman. I believe I talked about him a little bit. He's a 7th round pick. He shoots left-handed, 6'1" defenseman. He's from Sharon, Ontario. Wait, let me rephrase that. Sharon!
Way to impersonate Ozzy.
All right, enough with making jokes about Ozzy. Plus, if I didn't do it, he is a legend.
You damn right he is.
So he went to Bowling Green University, Bowling Green State University. There's Bowling Green University, then there's Bowling Green State University.
Not I.
Me neither. But he played 28 games. He was injured for a bit, so I can understand a little bit of it. He had 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points, 12 penalty minutes, and a 0 plus minus. He played 1 game in the ECHL. No points, no plus minus, no penalty minutes. He played most of his mostly college hockey. He did play in the Ontario Junior Hockey League, which is basically, how do I explain it? There's the OHL and then there's the OJHL.
Which is the Ontario Junior Hockey.
Yes. So this is basically before you go play in the Ontario Hockey League, which is actual juniors, which is confusing.
Yeah, I'm confused. There's like 5 million levels of hockey and 10 billion leagues all over the world.
It teaches us a lot. All right, this guy we know pretty well. Scott Savage.
Yeah.
He's a 6'1" defenseman, plays a power game. He played for the Admirals last year, 19 games, no goals, 2 assists. He had 19 penalty minutes and a +2. The year before, he played with the Jacksonville Icemen and the Cleveland Monsters, and then Boston College, straight up board. So he has some hockey pedigree to him. I think that being healthy would benefit him a lot, though. So,
all right, what's next on the hit list?
Let's get into Brendan Fortuno.
How many more guys we got?
Lucas Craig and Joe Pendet, for those who don't know who he is. Ron Pitlick, for those who didn't watch our shows before. Josh Wilkes, for those who haven't watched our show before.
You do realize we have another completely different show to do after this, so I would recommend you trying to,
speed it up a little bit?
Yeah.
I'm working on it. So, Brendan Fortuno is a 5'11" left-handed shot. He weighs 170. He's 23 years old. He went to, it says, Quinnipiac University. He played 26 games, 5 goals, 23 assists, so 28 points in 26 games, over a point per game. He had 2 penalty minutes and a +15. He also went to Boston College in 2014, 2015. He did have 2016, 2017 off because of it being a NCAA transfer year. He was transferring from Boston University to Quinnipiac University. See?
We have so many windows up, they're all kind of.
Yeah, I know, they're just. Yeah. All right, next one. This is Lucas Craig. I love that jersey.
He's referring to an image of Lucas Craig's profile photo.
All right, so he's from Elmhurst, Illinois, 23 years old, 6 foot tall, 190. He shoots left-handed, and he has a contract with the Predators.
So he's probably going to end up here at some point.
All right, so he went to Bowling Green State University, but I believe the jersey I did like was the USHL Youngstown Phantoms. That is a pretty cool logo.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so Bowling Green State University in his final year, he had 35 games played, 13 goals, 12 assists, 25 points. He had 118 penalty minutes. The year before, he had 109.
So he's a fired.
The year before that, or 2 years before that, in his final year of junior hockey, he had 124 penalty minutes and still managed up 20 points. He is actually averaging just under 10. He has never had a season where he had less than 10 points outside of the NAHL, which he only played 2 games. You can't kind of fault him for that one. but he's never scored under 10. Joe Pendenza.
For all you Admiral fans, you
should be
remember
familiar with
Pendenza.
him. He's 20 years old, 5'11". He's a center. He weighs 190. He's from Wilmington, Massachusetts.
I like that jersey.
Yeah, me too. I own one.
Yeah.
All right, so in 2013, 2014, he played for the Admirals. In 2014, 2015, he played for the Admirals. In 2015, 2016, he played for the Admirals.
And then he left.
And went to the Manchester Monarchs and the Cleveland Monsters for a few years.
And then he came back to the Admirals.
Yep. Last year, he played for the Idaho Steelheads. Quiet.
That was from the OHL?
ECHL. He played 11 games, 3 goals, 4 assists. He had 7 points, 4 penalty minutes, and a -1. Then he went to the Manchester Monarchs, which are the ECHL team of the Ontario Reign. That he played 13 games, 4 goals, 8 assists.
Wait, I thought
points.
Manchester was in the AHL.
They got bumped down when they decided LA decided to relocate. And then he played 40 games with the Admirals. He had 7 goals, 11 assists for 18 points, 14 penalty minutes, and a +13. He played 2 games in the playoffs. He had an assist and a -2. He also played 3 games in the playoffs for the Manchester Monarchs this year. No points, -3. The more you know, I guess.
Yeah, right.
I didn't even know him after he left here.
All right. Rem That.
Yep, he's from Plymouth.
That's a long night.
He's from Plymouth, Minnesota. He's 22 years old. He's a center, 5'11", 196. Third round pick by the Predators. He went to University of Minnesota. He had 38 games played, 21 goals, 24 assists, 45 points. He had 30 penalty minutes and a +4. He did play one game for the Predators, had 2 penalty minutes. No other stats. Josh Wilkes. And that will be the closer for our show. So this will be the last guy we cover, and we will be going live.
We have a few other things about the Admirals, like we were going to plug that one thing.
Yeah, we got one thingy we got to plug, but we're going to close it after. All right, so Josh Wilkes, he is 5'11", a center. He is also known as Joshua Wilkins. Joshua Wilkins. And
same difference.
All right, so he played at Providence College, 40 games, 20 goals, 26 assists for 46 points. He had 10 penalty minutes and a +9. He has only been in the negative 1 year in his entire pro career, and that is playing with the Sioux City Musketeers. Lou Tolfin was there that year. How are you in the negative then? Never mind, I'm not even going to ask that question. I know the answer. He played 49 games that year, 16 goals, 13 assists, 29 points, 39 penalty minutes, which happens to be his highest. So that's that. Now on to what our supposed breaking news is.
Well, apparently the Admirals are going to have like a little summer party on the 18th of July.
From 6 to 9.
Yeah, at the Panther Arena. They got some news announcements that are going to be breaking. We have no clue what it could be because, like I said, we do not work for them. So we'll be finding out when everybody else does. It is free to the public. But it's a 3-hour little party at the Panther Arena. We will be there if you want to chat hockey and this, that, and the other.
Or say hi to us.
Same difference. Photos, whatever. I don't sign autographs because I suck at writing my name. I'm so used to, keyboard and stuff. Just giving you a heads up. I suck at handwriting.
Do you mind giving me a second so that I could go do something so that I can show you what I think my idea is?
How about we do that off camera so I could have a cigarette? Because I've been wanting one and I don't want to light one up on camera.
All right. So what's your
Yes,
thought?
people, I do smoke cigarettes.
I vape too, and I'm going through nicotine.
Anyways, my prediction is maybe seeing how We are affiliated with the Predators. Possibly our third jersey would be our permanent third jersey would be like a blue and gold Admiral jersey for our third jersey, or they're going to change our colors altogether to blue and gold to affiliate the two teams. Because usually when you're going to have an announcement like this, you don't throw a party unless it's big. So I'm thinking big, meaning possible different color scheme or introducing a new third jersey. I don't think they're moving because from everything I hear, they enjoy the Panther Arena. They think it's a perfect venue for hockey. So I don't think they're moving the team to a different arena. I just think possible New Jersey. I could be wrong. This is also their 50th year as a franchise, so I'm assuming they're just going to announce that. Maybe they'll have like some sort of commemorative stuff going on throughout the year. Yeah, I was just talking about how possibly that could be a permanent thing, the blue and gold, or it could be our new third jersey and get rid of that stupid teal skeleton thing.
They did that last year. I didn't see it at all.
Well, good. Maybe they're looking for their third jersey and maybe a Predator-themed one to kind of blend them together. Like I said, we don't know what it's going to be. This is solely a prediction for, I don't know, the 500 millionth time. We are not affiliated with them. We're trying to get in their good graces so they don't shut us down. But we're independent from them. We just cover them.
We get all our info from
them. We pay them, not them paying us. That's how it is. We pay them. Because, we have to buy our season tickets and our merchandise. We pay them, not the other way around.
Which we don't mind doing.
Yeah, I don't mind doing either. That's why I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining to our fans that we do not work for the Admirals because you keep getting tons of messages from fans wanting discounts on tickets and this, that, and the other. Like, we don't control that.
I don't have
We
any
only
control.
recommend our ticket reps because they give us good customer service. By the way, mine's Ryan McCampbell. Hey, Ryan, if you want.
And mine's Brian Martins. But everybody there is good. I haven't met the two new reps, but I'm pretty sure they'll take good care of you.
Yeah. And if you want, just for the hell of it, drop our name. They might get a chuckle because it's us. They know who we are.
Yeah, they laugh. I was literally in the office joking with them earlier.
Yeah, they know who we are. Hell, a lot of them watch us. Hi.
So, this has been from Milwaukee to Nashville, the Predator and Milwaukee Admiral coverage. We will be taking
We're going to take a little bit of a break, and then you could listen to us break down the 10 or top 5 free agents in the NHL.
Top 10 free agent signings
and where they're going to fit into their team's schemes. We're going to do NHL talk.
And you could go over to YouTube and pay attention.
Subscribe to YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube.
Click the bell.
That way you get notified. Watch our videos. Continue to like us on Facebook and follow us and all that good stuff. And we will see you in a little bit. Later.
Peace.
Yeah, I got to do like that to get the peace sign up on camera.
Peace out, YouTube.
Woohoo! No trolls.